Welcome to Raj classes. Those who are watching our videos, please like and subscribe the channel. Today we will discuss another looping statement, that is for statement or for loop. Now see the syntax of for loop. Syntax of for loop. This is for initialization expression, then semicolon. This is test expression or test condition. Test expression or test condition. Then again another semicolon. Then increment or decrement. Increment or decrement of counter. Clear? Then these are the statements under for loop. Then this is the end curly braces of for loop. Clear? So you can see there are three parts. One is initialization part, second one is test expression or condition part, third one is increment or decrement part. Clear? So this is called body of for loop. Clear? When this statement, this for loop will execute, control will come to first. Which part? This initialization part. So first the initialization expression part will execute and the counter variable will be initialized first, and it will be done once. After initialization of counter, then control will go to which part? This condition part. Test expression or test condition. Clear? If this condition will true, then the body of for loop will execute. If the condition will become false, then the control will go out of for loop. Clear? Till the condition is true, it will execute the body of for loop again and again. Clear? Now see, for first time it will initialize the expression or counter, then it will go to control will go to which part? Test expression or condition part. It will check the condition. If the condition is true, it will execute these statements under this for loop, or this body of for loop will execute. Then when the control will reach at the end of for loop, then it will automatically go to the starting of loop. To which part it will go? It will go to increment and decrement part. Clear? Starting of loop means it will go to the increment and decrement part. Here the increment or decrement will be done, and after increment or decrement the control will go to which part again? Test expression or condition part. Again it will check the condition with the new value, because here the counter will be modified, because it will be incremented or decremented will be done here. So after increment or decrement, the control will go to which part? Test expression or test condition part. Again it will check the condition. If this condition is true, again it will execute these statements. That means body of for loop will execute once again. And this process will continue till the condition is true or until this condition becomes false. When this condition becomes false, control will directly go to the out of for loop. Control will go out of for loop. Clear? Out of for loop if condition or when condition becomes false. Clear? When the condition become false, control will go out of for loop. This is how the for loop will execute. This is the procedure how for loop will execute. Now see, I am taking one example. Suppose I want to print the numbers from 1 to suppose 5. How will you write in for loop? Just see, for I equal to 1, then semicolon, I less than equal to 5, then I plus plus. Then there will be one printf statement, printf percentile d, then comma I. Clear? Now see, when this statement, this for loop will execute, control will go to which part first? I equal to 1. This is initialization part. This is initialization part. Here the counter variable will be initialized. The counter variable. This I is the counter variable. It counts how many times loop will continue. It depends upon this I. So first the counter variable will be initialized. Then after initialization, control will go to which part? Test expression or test condition part. It will check this condition. If this condition is true, then control will go inside the loop. Now check, I value is 1, 1 less than equal to 5. Yes, condition is true. So control will go inside the loop and it will execute the body of for loop. So there is one printf statement and it will print the value of I. So it will print what? 1. Clear? And when the control will reach to the end of loop, it will automatically go to the which part? Increment and decrement part. Clear? Then I value will be incremented. I value will be 2. This I plus plus means what? I equal to I plus 1. So I value will be 2. After this increment or decrement, again it will go to the which part? Test expression condition part. Then again it will check the condition with this new value. So 2 less than equal to 5. Condition again true. So it will print again what? 2. Then again it will continue same process. I value will be 3. 3 less than equal to 5. Condition again true. It will execute. Printf statement will execute and it will print what? 3. Then again this process will continue. I value will be 4. 4 less than equal to 5. Condition again true. And it will print what? 4. Again it will continue. I value will be 5. 5 less than equal to 5. Yes. Then it will again print 5. Now see. When control will reach to this, again it will continue. It will go to which part? Increment, decrement part. Here I value will become what? 6. I value will become 6. When I value become 6, it will again check the condition. Now see, 6 less than equal to 5. Now the condition is false. So control will go out of this for loop. Clear? So it will print what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clear? Now see the flow chart for this for loop. Flow chart for this for loop. Just see the flow chart. Flow chart for the for loop. Clear? Now see. First what happens? First initialization. This is initialization. Initialization expression. Initialization expression. So counter variable will be initialized first. This is entry to the loop. Clear? Then what will happen? Control will go to which part? Condition part. Test expression or condition. Test expression or test condition. It will check the condition. Clear? If this condition is true, it will execute what? If this condition is true, what? The body of for loop will be executed. Clear? After the execution of the body part, when the control will reach to the end of loop, then it will automatically go to the which part? Increment or decrement part. So here increment or decrement will be done. Increment or decrement of counter. Clear? So increment or decrement will be done here. Then after increment or decrement, what will happen? Control will go to which part? Control will go to which part? The condition part. Control will go to the condition part. Clear? If the condition become false, just see. If the condition become false, then what will happen? The control will go out of for loop. This is the flow chart for loop. You can see first initialization expression will be done. Clear? Initialization of a counter will be done. Then it will check the test expression or condition. Clear? It will come to this part. Then if this condition is true, then it will come to body part, and body of for loop will execute. Then control will go to which part? Increment or decrement of counter. After this increment or decrement done, then it will go to which part? Again test expression or condition. And this process will be continue. This process will continue till the condition is true. When the condition becomes false, then the control will go out of for loop. Clear? This is the flow chart for loop. Clear? Now see some points or features of for loop. Some features of for loop. Just see first, as I have already told that the syntax is for, this is initialization, semicolon, this is condition, and this is increment or decrement. Increment or decrement part. And this is the statements under this for loop, and this is called body of for loop. Clear? Now see, first point is, in initialization part, more than one variable can be initialized. First point what? More than one variables can be initialized in initialization part. Initialization part. For example, just see, suppose I am taking one variable integer p, and here I am writing for I equal to 1, I less than equal to 5, then I plus plus. Instead of writing these two lines, I can write a single line. Just see, for suppose this is p equal to 10. Clear? Now see, p equal to 10, comma, I equal to 1, then semicolon. I less than equal to 5, then I plus plus. Just see. Instead of writing these two lines, I can write a single line. Here, you just see the initialization part. Here I have what? Written what? Two initialization variables. I have initialized two variables here. And these two statements will be separated by comma. This is comma. Clear? So more than one initialization statements I can write in initialization part of for loop, but those statements will be separated by comma. This is comma operator. Clear? Then second point is that, just see, same way I can do the increment or decrement of more than one variables. I can write the increment or decrement of more than one variables in the increment or decrement part in for loop. Clear? So just see, more than one variable can be incremented or decremented in increment or decrement part. Increment or decrement part of for loop. Clear? Just see the example. Suppose I am writing here x equal to 1, comma, y equal to suppose 10, semicolon, x less than equal to y, then semicolon, x plus plus, comma, y minus minus. Just see this example. Here in initialization part I have done initialization for more than one variable. Same in increment decrement part I have incremented or decremented more than one variables. But those statements will be separated by same comma operator. Comma operator. Clear? So more than one variables can be initialized in initialization part. More than one variable can be incremented or decremented in the increment or decrement part of for loop. Third point, just see. More than one condition you can keep. You can write more than one condition. More than one condition also possible. More than one condition can be put in condition part of for loop. Clear? And those condition will be what? One compound statement. One compound conditional statement. You cannot separate those condition, multiple condition by comma operator. Like your initialization expression or increment decrement expression. Clear? You have to use different operators to make one compound conditional statement. Just see the example. For I equal to suppose 1, then semicolon, I greater than suppose x, and I less than suppose y, then I plus plus. Clear? Suppose here I am writing I equal to p. P, x, y are free variables, different variables. Clear? Here you can see this is one condition, condition 1, and this is condition 2. So I can write more than one condition, but that will be one compound statement using different operator. This operator is what? Logical AND. Logical AND. Clear? This logical AND. You can use logical or also. This is logical or. So you have to use different operators to make one compound expression when you are writing more than one condition. Clear? Now come to fourth part. Just see. Fourth point is two semicolons. Two semicolons are mandatory in for loop. That means this is one semicolon, this is another semicolon. Clear? These two semicolons are mandatory. You may write this initialization statement, you may write this condition statement, or you may write this increment or decrement statement or not. But these two semicolons are mandatory in for loop. Clear? For example, if I will write this type, there is no error. I have not written any initialization statement, I have not written any condition, I have not written any increment or decrement part, but I have given two semicolons. This is right. There is no error. Clear? Now see, if there will be no conditional part, then what will happen? If there will be no, if you will not write any conditional part, in conditional part, if you will not write any condition, then what will happen? This condition part will be always true and it will be one infinite loop. If there is no condition, there is no condition in conditional part of for loop, then the for loop will become, one infinite loop. Clear? Just see. Suppose first time, no initialization, it will go to what? Conditional part. There is no condition means true. It will execute these statements. Body of for loop will execute. Again go to increment, decrement. There is no increment, decrement part. Again it will go to which part? Condition part. Condition. There is no condition. So always true. Again it will execute. Same way it will execute again and again. It will be one infinite loop. Clear? These are the features what? Of for loop. Now see. Next one is nested for loop. Nested for loop. Just see. Nested for loop. nested for loop. So nested means what? If one for loop present inside another for loop. We have already discussed in nested if. If one for loop present inside another for loop, then that is called nested for loop. Just see the syntax. For initialization, then this is condition part. Condition suppose 1. This is increment or decrement part. Increment or decrement part. Then inside this for loop, suppose another for loop is there. For there will be initialization part. There will be condition part. And there will be increment or decrement part. Clear? And there will be some statements. Clear? And this is the end of inner for loop. Then some statements suppose are there. Then this is the end of outer for loop. Just see. This is the body part of what? Outer for loop. This is called outer for loop. Outer for loop. Clear? And this is called inner for loop. Inner for loop. And this is the body part of inner for loop. Clear? And this is the body part of outer for loop. Body part of outer for loop. Clear? So you can see one for loop is present inside another for loop. Clear? First, what will happen? How this nested for loop will execute? First, initialization of outer for loop will be done. Then it will go to which part? Condition part. If the condition is true, it will go inside the for loop. And there is another for loop is there. It will again go to the initialization part of inner for loop. If after this initialization, again it will go to the condition part of this inner for loop. Then if this condition 2 also true, then it will go to this body part of inner for loop. Clear? After executing, when the control will reach to the end of inner for loop, again it will go to which part? The increment or decrement part of inner for loop. Clear? Then after increment or decrement, then it will go to the condition part. Then if the condition 2 is true, then again the body of inner for loop will execute. And repeatedly it will execute till the condition of inner for loop is true. When the condition of inner for loop will become false, it will go out of the inner for loop. Then the statements, other statements inside the outer for loop will execute. Then when the control will reach to the end of this outer for loop, it will go to which part? It will go to the increment or decrement part of outer for loop. Clear? Then after increment decrement of outer for loop, again it will go to the condition of outer for loop. If this condition again true, it will again execute the body of outer for loop. Clear? Once again this loop will execute. Clear? Then if the condition will become false, this condition of outer for loop become false, then the control will go out of the outer for loop. That means out of two loops. Clear? When this condition will become false, then control will go out of this for loop. This is the outer for loop. It will go out of outer for loop. Clear? This is the procedure how the nested for loop will execute. Today we'll stop here. Thank you.